starting with the research in terms of were customers, wanting to celebrate 250 years. So we started with research. Would people be interested in buying electricity from what's traditionally known as the gas company? And what we found was that we did have a certain amount of energy credentials. We're 32 years around at this stage providing natural gas to homes throughout Ireland. And the answer came back that it was unusual, but could see the link. If you supply gas, you could supply electricity, and you have a billing system, and your customer service is quite good. So we found that people would be open to the provision of electricity from Bord Gais Energy. So we decided on, who are our target markets? And we found two target markets: our existing customer base, and then everybody else in the country who wasn't an existing Bord Gais Energy customer. So when you know your target markets, it can help you to decide on your media split. So we went above the line with a lot of TV initially for the launch. And the reason is that it's the real key for awareness driving. We also had to educate the market that people could change provider. People are used to getting their electricity from the ESB for over 70 years now. So, the new news was that you can actually change provider and you can get electricity from Bord Gais Energy.
And that was the creative hook, as it were, the big switch. I mean, a very clever concept, very well executed. I mean, was that something that immediately struck you as the way you needed to go from a creative point of view, which in a sense is a very obvious challenger position, which is saying, if you say the big switch, it obviously in people's minds provokes the question, switching from somebody.
Yeah. I think it's a good question. I mean, we had great fun in terms of putting the brief together from the research, and we had a very clear idea what the proposition was going to be and how we were setting the discounts for the customers, the 10, 12 and 14, rewarding behaviour, rewarding our existing customer base. So we went along, our advertising agency DDFH&B, we briefed them, and they came back with I think around 6 creative ideas. When I heard the big switch, I left the meeting, rang our web guys, and I said, book thebigswitch.ie. I have a feeling it's going to go this way. It wasn't right the first time round. We went back, we looked at another 3 ideas, including the big switch. It was redefined, and the second time round we knew we had something. So yeah.
And the success of it, I suppose, the meat in the pie, as it were, is that you've more than exceeded your objective in terms of something that's relatively easy to measure as well, which is how many people sign up for the service.
Yeah, it's a direct response campaign, and you were asking about the media selection earlier on. We chose to go with TV, radio, press, and then some of the more non-traditional routes, especially online, with Google AdWords, display ads, a number of bits and pieces. Now what we've been constantly doing is monitoring and refining. We got a big pleasant surprise in the first couple of weeks of the campaign. We thought we would sign up maybe about 80,000 customers in the first year, having looked at international trends of companies offering other energy from their traditional. We looked at markets all over the world, and we even got a set of consultants in to look at the numbers and say, are we being too optimistic or are we being too conservative? Within 12 weeks, we'd more than doubled the target, hit more than double the target for the year. So we were absolutely flying, and it's been great. It just shows, though, I think, the appetite amongst the consumer for a clear, easy to understand offer. And it's not just about the price, it's about making it easy as well.
We'll come on to that in a moment, the fulfillment side, which is obviously interesting, particularly where the demand exceeded what you were projecting. So there are obviously challenges around actually servicing that. But just sticking on the campaign itself, I mean, at the core of it is, as you say, a very easy to understand message. If this campaign had run 18 months ago, 2 years ago, do you think it would have been as successful, given the fact that we're in recessionary times now?
I think it would have been successful. We started our research into it well over 12 months before the launch of the campaign, which was on the 18th of February. And what we found was that there was a tipping point in the discount of around the 10% mark. People would still be interested in switching below that, but the levels of switching increased once you got to the 10%. There's no doubt, however, we reran the research prior to going out. And what we found was the level of interest had got much higher.
Yeah.
And the level of interest had got much higher around the discounts and much less around you know, the sort of the green elements of the campaign people are interested was, you know, can you give me good value for money? Can you make it easy for me to do that?